Coach Gianna from AL.com. So in addition to having new coaches, the wide receivers also lost their top three targets. So, it's really, really starting over. How have you seen them step up to that challenge, and in this short time, has anyone really impressed you?
Well, these guys have definitely, tried to step up to the challenge. It's a challenge for all of us, to be honest with you, because of, everybody learning something new, doing a bunch of different things. The teaching may be a little bit different. So I think these guys have definitely, stepped up to the challenge, and, they take pride in trying to be the best at their craft. And, I think they've done a pretty solid job thus far. We got a lot of things we can continue to work on and get better at. And a guy to me that's kind of stood out, and somebody who I was already familiar with, just from recruiting at other places I've been, was Javaris Johnson, and he's been one of the most consistent guys.
Next question is from Justin Ferguson.
I wanted to ask you about Malcolm Johnson Jr. We didn't get to see him much last year, and he reclassified and all that. What does he got to bring to the table as a receiver to your guys' group?
I think with Malcolm, he was a speed guy coming out of high school, and I think that he'll be a guy, that's going to continue to develop and continue to get better as a receiver, because, like I said, he came in just having really, really good overall speed, and I think that he's going to be able to blow the top off and do some things, getting some speed sweeps and moving him around. That's going to definitely help us out.
Okay. Next is a question from Mark Murphy.
Yeah, Coach, talk about the importance of the receivers staying alive when things don't go as planned, and watching your Troy guys play. That's something I noticed about them.
Right, that's very important, and that's something that Coach Harrison and Coach Bobo has continued to hit on, and that's something that we got to continue to work at, is working on the scramble drill. And we have to be really, really good at the scramble drill, because we do have an athletic quarterback, and he can get out of the pocket, and he can create plays with his legs. And I think that's something that we just have to continue to harp on and continue to get better at as we go throughout spring. And we've definitely been working on that for sure.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Question from Bill Cameron.
Yeah, Coach, Bill Cameron from The Drive on ESPN 106.7 here in town.
Sure.
Kobe, with Shed out right now, injured, I guess Kobe's about the most experienced guy that you have, and that's odd for a guy that's just wrapping up his freshman year. What have you seen from him so far this spring?
Well, Kobe, the thing with Kobe is he's actually really, in my opinion, a natural-born leader. Like he's a guy. He's extremely strong. He works hard, and the thing that Kobe has to continue to do is just to continue to work on his craft, continue to get better. But he shows and flashes that he has the talent to be really, really special.
Question from Jordan Hill.
Hey, Cornelius, Jordan Hill from the Black Auburn News.
Sure.
I wanted to ask about what this opportunity to coach at Auburn meant for you. I mean, being from this state and having coached in this state, when this opportunity came up, what it meant to
Well, I think the biggest thing with having this opportunity, this is huge, not only for myself but for my family and everybody involved. There was a lot of people that helped me get to this point in my life, not just coaching career, but in my life. A lot of going through a bunch of different things to help build myself up, my character. And I think, man, growing up and being in this state and growing up and being around either Alabama or Auburn, at my high school, I went to Hoover. Had a bunch of people that went to Alabama. We had a bunch of people that went to Auburn. So you're kind of in between. And growing up, coming from my high school, a bunch of guys getting highly recruited. Shoot, I wanted to go to either one of them, whoever wanted to take me, to be honest with you. And because I knew that was being at the highest level, in my opinion. And, the competition at this level is the best in the country. And, being from this state, everybody knows what this is about. And, when I finally got this opportunity, or when I even had the chance, or they even gave me the call, I was so excited, but at the same time I was nervous, but at the same time I was, I felt like everything that I've done up to this point in my life, my career, the coach from a coaching standpoint, it prepared me for this. And I'm just thankful and blessed for the opportunity, and that Coach Harsin saw that in me. Because all I wanted throughout this whole thing and going through the coaching was this profession is just a chance and an opportunity, and he's given that to me, and I'm going to take it and run with it.
Let's go to Nathan King.
Hey, Cornelius, Nathan King, 24/7 Sports. Just kind of on that same note, I mean, like you said, growing up in the state and then jumping so many different assistant jobs within the state, what do you think that's done to help you, or has it already helped you in your time at Auburn on the recruiting trail, kind of understanding all the different programs and, like you said, understanding the importance of Auburn and Alabama from a young age? Right.
I think, man, you hit on a good point of being all over the state, because I really have. I started off at South Alabama as a GA. I went to North Alabama and coached there, coached receivers. Went to Jacksonville State, went to UAB, Troy. I mean, so being all over like that was definitely huge for me. Just getting and building relationships, throughout the state, being around a bunch of great coaches and being around a bunch of great high school coaches, seeing and meeting those guys, and even, kind of stealing ideas from those guys, and, just understanding how those guys work and do things, and then seeing how they develop their players and their care for their young people that they're bringing up. And even being from this state, family in Mobile, my whole family's in Mobile, moved to Birmingham at a young age, and then a bunch of guys know me down there and then know me up north, in the middle of the state. And then playing at, in my opinion, in one of the best high schools in the country, and everybody knowing who we were in this state, it was a very big deal, and it's helped tremendously.
Question from Brian Matthews.
Hi, Cornelius. Thanks for speaking to us. Wanted to ask you about overall talent level. How do you feel about your group? And then particularly wanted to ask you about Elijah Canyon. What stood out about him so far?
Okay. From a talent level, in my opinion, we have the guys, but the biggest thing that the issue is going to be that we're young, and these guys aren't experienced. Like, you said it's only been a few guys that have actually had some real game action. And everybody here knows how it is in this league, playing against some of the best competition in the country. So the biggest deal is going to be for us is really, putting in the work, the time, the effort, to be extremely detailed, and work to be the best we can possibly be in this group. And that's going to take place, like Coach said, go 1-0. And that's from the time that you wake up, to the time that you finish at night. We have to do every little thing right in order to be, a much better group and continue to, gain that experience. And with Canyon, he has done a really good job. That kid, he really works hard. He busts his butt out there. He goes 100% when he's out there. And, he's a guy that it really means a lot to him. And he is a guy that he's always asking me questions. Even before I came in here, he was calling me, asking me, hey, Coach, what's this or what's that? We were sitting there talking literally before I came in here to talk to you guys. And that to me, when a guy does that, that means that he cares. And those are the kind of guys that we want to have in this program, and of course in the receiving room. But you want guys that want to learn, that love the game, that love football, that want to come over here and be coached up, and that's what I've seen out of him and the rest of the guys.
We've got 3 more questions in the chat, so we'll finish out with those. Let's go to Philip Marshall.
Cornelius, just talk about your kind of introduction to Coach Harsin's way and what you have seen from him that you think has made him be successful.
Well, first of all, I've had the opportunity to play against Coach Harsin twice as a coach. When I was at Troy, we actually went to Boise one time, and then they actually came to Troy the next time. And so, when we went out there and we played those guys, what I saw was a team that was very, very disciplined, that, they weren't going to get out of place a bunch. They understood and knew. You can tell those guys played for each other, and it meant a lot to them. And I think, when he first got hired, I watched his press conference, because I sat there and I told my wife, I said, this is actually a really good hire. I said a lot of people probably don't know, even know who he is or what he stands for, but I said this is a really good hire because of, what he's been able to accomplish and, what he's done, over at Boise. And then, what he's brought here, in my opinion, is just it's the mindset and the culture and what Auburn stands for. It's the, you walk around here, you see all this stuff on the walls, and it says, talk about working hard, believing that you can be the best, like all those different things. That's what is pushing and making sure that these guys understand in this program. And he talks about, being in the moment, and that's a really, really big deal. And that's something that I believe in, and I believed in my whole career of just understanding, like he said, going 1-0. And what that means is just waking up, putting yourself in the right mindset, coming in, being on time, and then being consistent, doing that over and over and over and over, and then not getting tired of doing that. And that's what it's going to take. Everybody knows to win in this league, you have to be consistent. You have to be disciplined. Of course, you have to have the players and whatnot, but it starts with, from the top to the bottom and everybody being on the same page.
Thanks.
No problem.
Question from Jason Caldwell.
Hey, Cornelius, Jason Caldwell inside the Auburn Tigers
Yes, sir.
247. You talked about Javaris Johnson.
Yeah.
How valuable can a guy like that be? A guy that can create separation in the middle of the field,
Right.
create space, and use that open space. How big can he be in this offense?
I think with Javaris Johnson, first of all, the one knock is going to be his size. All right, and I tell you, if you got speed but has his size, the biggest thing is going to be that he's going to be able to run and separate and get away from people. I've had a guy like him before that I've coached when I was at UAB. J.J. Nelson was extremely fast and could create separation, and Javaris can do the same thing. And once he continues to work on his game and just touch on the details of continuing to get better, that's going to be a really, really big deal for him. And us putting him in the right positions as well. Of course, not sending him in there to go block on, 6'5", 6'3" linebacker. That's crazy. But at the same time, putting him in situations that can create matchup problems for people, moving them around, doing a bunch of different things. And I think that can definitely help us.
And we'll finish up with a question from Mark Murphy.
Yeah, could you talk about how important this recruiting class is going to be for you guys to restock the receiver group, and also how important will it be for you to actually get out and see these guys in person?
Oh, look, so you're exactly right. We definitely have to continue to recruit because with the recruiting is going to bring competition, and that's what we need all across the board. You have to have competition in order to be successful. Every single team that I've ever been a part of or that's been on a winning team, I've seen it from when I was young until now. You have to have competition because of what that's going to do is that's going to breed, everybody competing with each other, and it's going to help breed success when you have, of course, the culture's right. But you have to go out and recruit guys that's going to come in and challenge the guys that you already have. So that's huge that we go out and do that. And then going out and being able to see these guys is a very big deal because not only are you you're watching these guys play the game, you're watching their body language, watching how they handle adversity. Are they going to go full speed on this play? Are they going to? You're seeing everything that you can't see on the film when you're going out. You're actually seeing guys. Are they taking the coaching? Are they going out there and playing special teams? What do they look like when you're actually going and seeing them in person? You'll see a bunch of different things that you can't see from a highlight tape.